And let's see. So let me share the screen now. Let's bring up the chat. How is everybody doing? Tired? Ready for weekend? What do you guys do for weekend, by the way? Hang out with friends? Work? What do you guys do? Work, homework? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope you can just take a time to, maybe go outside, take a walk, just relax. You need that. Okay. Wow. Okay. So today I have a really short agenda, and that is to go over on what's called a quadratic formula. Have you guys heard that before, or have you guys seen this before? It's right here. Work out, eat, sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you have done this in Algebra 1, but definitely it is a Algebra 2 topic. Okay. Now, you don't need to write this part right here, but I just want you to understand a couple of things here. When do you use quadratic equation, quadratic formula? Well, first of all, question is, can we factor all the quadratic functions? The answer is no. All the quadratic functions. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, we have been factoring, right? Of like this one right here, right? We factored it, and it was 2 and 3, and we were able to factor. Are all the expression of this form, x squared plus something x plus something, is it factorable? Can you factor it? The answer is no. Some of the quadratic function, you cannot factor it. Okay. And so what do you do if you cannot factor? Well, there is still a way, okay? Because think about this. This x-intercept is not gonna be always a nice number. It could be a fraction, and it could be a decimals. It could be the decimal that goes on and on forever. It could be 3.1572448, something like that. It just goes on. In other words, irrational number. You could have irrational, like a 2 plus square root of 17. Okay, it could be something like that. Okay, and in that case, you are not able to factor it. Okay, so what do you do? Well, there are a couple of different methods. Okay, but in this class, we're just going to focus on quadratic formula. Okay, so what do you do if you cannot factor? We can use a quadratic formula. Now, can you use a quadratic formula for the equation that you can factor? The answer is yes. Quadratic formula can be used for anything, okay? Whether you can factor it or whether you cannot factor it, okay? But let's take a look at it. Now, what is a quadratic formula? Now, this is a quadratic formula. It looks like a very intimidating, crazy looking equation, isn't it? It has like a plus and minus. Okay, what does that mean, right? And what's A, B, and C? Well, first of all, A, B, and C are these numbers. So do you guys want to write it down? It's from right here and on. So quadratic formula, I guess we should say, this is a quadratic formula. Now, what is it? Quadratic formula is if you have y equals ax squared plus bx plus c in that the form that we've been working on for factoring, then we can solve for x-intercept by applying this quadratic formula. Okay, so let's just jump right into example number 1 and see how to do that. Okay, now if you try to factor this, actually, can we try to factor this? Now, if you try to factor this, why don't you guys watch? You don't need to write this part, okay? I'm just going to try to factor it. I can't remember if this one is factorable. And it's -5, so it's got to be 1 and 5. That's it, right? Then it's 1x, and this is 10x. 10x and 1x, you can't create 4x, so that's not going to work out. So I'm going to switch around 5 and 1. That's 5x, 2x. 5x and 2x, can you create 4x out of 5x and 2x? And the answer is no, right? And then, so you know that you can't factor this, okay? Now, on the test, I will tell you, I'm not going to ask you guys to see if this is factorable or not. Okay, that's going to take too long, so I wouldn't ask you something like that. But you can see that this quadratic function you cannot factor. Okay, so what are you going to do? Well, we're going to apply quadratic formula to find x-intercept. Okay, and so how do we do that? Okay, so first we need to identify what is A, B, or C. So we know that this 2 represents A. Okay, A, B, C are all numbers. Okay, so 4, not 4x, but 4 is representing B. And then what's a C? C is not 5, but -5. Okay, so 2 is A, B is 4, and C is -5. And I know it's easy for me to say this, but all you have to do is just replace A, B, C, substitute A, B, C, or 2, 4, -5 into that formula. And then you have the x-intercept, okay? So let's try that. So first step is to just plug in. So first, entry is calling for -b. B is 4, so it's going to be -4. Or you can think of it as an opposite of B, okay? So -4 plus minus, I'm going to explain later what that means, square root of b squared minus 4 times 4ac means 4 times a times c. Yeah, so 4 times a times -5 over 2 times 2. Now let's simplify this. Okay. Basically, the 90% of the mistake happens right here inside the square root sign. Okay. Now, if you have a calculator, all you have to do is just type it in and you should be able to get the right answer there. Okay. So, but if you want to break it down, this is what I would do. Okay. First, let's figure out 4 squared. What's a 4 squared, guys? It means 4 times 4. Now, yeah, that's a 16, right? If you have a graphing calculator, if you have just a good calculator, even scientific calculator like this, you can just type in this whole expression right here. 4, not just inside. 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times -5 with a parentheses. And you should get the right answer. But if you're going to break down, it's going to be 16. And then the next part, this is where the mistakes occur. Now, what do you do with this negative sign? What I would recommend is that you just take this 4 as -4, and then just multiply 3 numbers. -4 times 2 times -5. You're going to do that, okay? So -4 times 2 is -8. -8 times -5 is, what is that? Positive 40. So you write down positive 40 over 2 times 2 is 4. You guys okay? Now let's keep going. 16 plus 40 is 56. Yeah, this is square root of 56 over 4. Now, you know that there are 2 x-intercepts, right? Usually. Because a parabola, you can have 1 x-intercept, 2 x-intercepts, right? So, and that's where the plus and minus comes in. So, one solution is you take positive square root of 56, divide by 4. And then we do that, and let's figure out what exactly it is in decimal. And the other one is you take the negative square root of 56 over 4. So I want you guys to take out your calculator, okay? And let's figure out the decimal. What is a -4 plus square root of 56 and then divide by 4? So -4 plus square root of 56, and then I'm just going to enter first and then divide by 4. I get irrational number, so it's going to be 0.87. I'm just going to round off to the third decimal place. The other one will be -4. Why don't you try the other one and show me in the chat? What will be the other x-intercept? Do you guys have a calculator with you? You know, it's perfectly fine if you want to use a cell phone calculator, but I find the cell phone calculator to be really difficult to use, especially if you're entering negative numbers. and or like an even square root number. So you might want, you need to get a good, just a scientific calculator. You don't need a graphing calculator. So will you try to get one? Maybe over the weekend. It will help you. Maybe there's one lying around at home, hopefully. But it will be very helpful to have something like this. So what did you get for the second x-intercept? Did anybody figure out? Anybody willing to show your answer? -4 minus square root of 56. And then I will push enter first and then divide by 4. Anybody? -2.87871. So here's the first x-intercept, and this is the second x-intercept. Yeah, did you get that? Same number? And then y-intercept. So this is x-intercept. What is y-intercept, guys? Everybody tell me, what's the y-intercept going to be? Y-intercept is going to be -5. It's this last number, isn't it? You guys remember that from yesterday? Because how do you find a y-intercept? You plug in. Everybody tell me out loud. Speak out loud. How do you find y-intercept? To find y-intercept, you are going to set x equal to 0. Remember that? So if you set x to 0, you're just going to end up with having -5. Okay. Okay, let's try another one. And then we're just going to do the assignment, okay? But let's do example number 2. So let's find x-intercept by using quadratic formula. Now, what is A, B, and C? Let's figure out first. Okay, all right. Somebody was texting, well, chatting in chat. Okay, so what is A, B, and C, guys? What's A? Well, A is the number in front of x squared. Now, if you don't see that number in front of x squared, what is it, right? Great job, Justin. And it is 1, isn't it? Okay, so A is 1. And what's B? B this time is going to be -4. And C is +13. You guys get that? So let's plug in, okay? First, let's see where the quadratic formula is. So quadratic formula is over here, okay? The first entry is -b, or opposite of b. Let's think of that way. Negative means opposite sign of b. If it's positive, then it's going to be negative. If it's negative, like this one, then it's going to be just +4. You okay with that? Then plus minus square root of b squared. Now, if b is a negative, I want you guys to put parentheses, -4 square. Will you do that? Will you fix that in your notes? Because it's a b is a negative, you want to do negative parentheses, negative 4 squared minus 4. It's always minus 4 times a times c over 2 times 1. Okay? Now let's simplify. Now what's negative 4 squared? Negative 4 in parentheses square means that it's negative 4 times negative 4, isn't it? So it is going to be not negative 16 actually, but negative 4 times negative 4 will be what? What's a negative times negative? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Great. Okay. So you notice that. That's a positive 16. Okay. And then you're going to do negative 4 times 1 times 13. What's negative 4 times 1? That's negative 4 still. And negative 4 times 13 is negative 52. So minus 52. And 2 times 1 is just 2. Very good. Very good. Now let's keep going on this. Do you guys notice something odd about this? What do you think is going to happen here? Oh, actually, forgot. Need to admit. And then Sierra. Well, Sierra, I hope your connection is working a little bit better this time. So now what happens if you do 16 minus 52? Okay, again, 16 minus 52. I get negative 36 over 2. Now we need to stop because we don't want to do anything else at this point. Why not? It means that I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to conclude that there is no x-intercept. Yes. Do you guys understand now why? Do you guys remember being taught that inside of a square root sign cannot be negative? Do you see right here, we've got negative 36. Now, what is the square root of, do you guys have a calculator? Okay. Can you do square root of negative number, negative 36? Where's the square root button? Negative 36, and I get error. You cannot take a square root of negative number. And that's when you get the imaginary number, which we did not talk about. But taking the square root of negative number is impossible. I mean, think about this. Square root of, let's say, like a square root of 9 is 3, isn't it? Because 3 times 3 is 9. So square root of 9 is 3. But square root of negative 36, what times what? Two numbers being the same number. What times what gives negative 36? Can both number be the same thing and you multiply? Well, but two numbers has to be the same number. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. Negative 6 times negative 6 is also positive 36, right? Can two numbers being the same number multiply and get the negative number? The answer is no, it's impossible, because positive times positive is positive. Negative times negative is still positive, isn't it? Right? Again, the two same number, right? 2 and 2, negative 2 and negative 2, 2 being the same, if you multiply them, you will always get positive. You cannot get negative number, okay? And so you cannot take square root of negative number, okay? And so it's impossible. And so, and that at this point, we will stop and say there is, in this class, we will just say no x-intercept. And what does that mean? Okay, now I'm going to graph. I know this is not very primitive, but I'm going to graph and show it to you over the monitor, and hopefully x squared minus 4x plus 13 graph. Okay, let's see if, hey, can you guys see this? This is the graph of, is this? Do you guys see the mirror image of whatever you see? No, okay, you're just seeing that right. Okay. And then here's the graph. Do you see that the parabola is not hitting x-axis? It is, let's, parabola is something like that. It does not have x-intercept. The line, the curve does not go all the way down to x-axis. It just does not, it will never cross. That means it doesn't have x-intercept. So whenever you get square root of negative number, so square root of negative number, it means that no x-intercept. Okay, so I want you to remember that. Lastly, well, but we can still figure out y-intercept though. What is y-intercept, guys? Everybody tell me in chat, what's y-intercept? Y-intercept is gonna be, thank you guys, it's gonna be 13. Very good. Okay, let's do the assignment. And then it's gonna be, there are only 4 questions, okay? Are you guys okay? Can we move on? So the assignment is all posted on Canvas, so you can retrieve that. But if you don't want to do that, it's right here. Okay, there are 4 problems. Okay, if you want to take a picture of that, but we're going to work on it right now. Okay, so you don't have to copy down everything. Let's do number 1. We're going to find x-intercept by using quadratic formula. Okay, find x and y-intercept of the following quadratic functions by using quadratic formula, okay, for x-intercept. So let's do that. Number 1. Now, you don't need to do this because it will be obvious to you, but for, at least for this problem, Tell me what A, B, and C is. What's A? A is 1. And what is B, guys? B is also, again, A, B, and C are all numbers. Okay, no X's in it. B is also 1 as well. Okay, so please remember that it's a very easy mistake to make. And then C is -5. Okay, so when you apply the numbers A, B, and C into quadratic formula, let's write it down. Quadratic formula is -b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. You don't have to memorize it, but you probably will by the end of this unit. So let's apply, okay? So first, it's -b, or think of it as the opposite of b, opposite sign of b. So b is a +1, so it's going to be -1. Okay, yeah, you guys okay? No x. Okay, it's all b, a, b, c are all just numbers. Plus minus square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 1. You don't even need to write that 1 there, but 1 times -5 over 2 times 1. So let's simplify that. One squared is still 1. -4 times, again, this is where the 90% of the mistake occurs. It's what to do with this -4. Just treat that as just -4 always, okay? Just do -4. You do -4 times 1 times -5. You do that, and then you can eliminate lots of headaches, okay? -4 times 1 is -4. -4 times -5 is +20 over 2. So we've got -1 plus minus square root of 21 over 2. Are you guys still with me here? So now you're going to split, and now let's figure out the decimals. Okay, it's going to be -1 plus square root of 21 over 2. And the other possibility, other x-intercept is going to be -1 minus square root of 21 over 2. So let's figure out, guys. -1 plus square root of 21. And then enter. And then divide by 2. I get 1.79. Let's just do the 2 decimal places. The other one is -1 minus square root of 21. And then enter, divide by 2. And I get -2.79. So that's the x-intercepts. And then the y-intercept is going to be -5. Okay, maybe I'm doing too much. So you do number 2 all the way. I'll give you 2 minutes. Think you can do that? Anybody, any questions, guys? What do you guys think? What did you guys get? Did anybody finish x-intercepts? Y-intercept is going to be -10, right? So that's easy. What's x-intercept? Raise your hand when you're done, or give thumbs up when you're done. Okay, very good. Yeah, you can do like a yes mark if you're done. Thumbs up, whatever, indicate, wave. What is that? Need a break. Okay, I guess we have a need a break sign. Anybody else? Okay, let's get started. So again, the quadratic formula is up there. It's gonna be, so this is A, this is a B is a -12, and C is -10. It's a big number there. Well, bigger than usual. So -B, or opposite of B. B is a -12, so opposite will be +12. Okay, so +12 plus minus square root of, you want to put -12 in parentheses. Okay, so -12 bracket squared. Do you guys have that? Okay, minus 4a. Again, anytime if you are dealing with a negative number, let's put them in parentheses. Times 2 times 11. Okay, we're able to do that. Now let's simplify. That's 22 is the bottom. -12 squared, what is that? It's 12 times 12, 144. It's a positive 144. Because -12 square means -12 times -12. And that's positive. And then 4 times negative, and then you're going to do -4 times 11 times -10. Okay, -4 times 11 is -44, but -44 times 10 is positive 440. which is 12 plus minus square root of 584 over 22. Okay, that was kind of big number. Oh, it's negative b squared minus 4 ac 4 minus 4a over 2. What am I doing wrong? It's 11, not 12. Yeah, are you okay with that? Did I do okay? I do make mistakes, guys, so I need your eyes over here and tell me if I'm doing something wrong. And then we're going to split. It's 12 plus square root of 584 over 22. And the other one is 12 plus minus square root of 584 over 22. Let's figure out 12 plus divide by 22. It's 1.64. This one is negative 0.55. Yeah, very good. And then the y-intercept is going to be y equals negative 10. So these are the x-intercepts, and this is the y-intercept. Okay. We got two more. We can do this. Okay. Okay, you try again. If you made mistakes on number 2, not a big deal. This is the first time, right? So, or have you guys learned this in Algebra 1, quadratic formula? Can you, yes? Is it familiar to you? Have you seen it before? Yeah. Yeah. No, that's okay. Yeah. But again, lots of mistakes happen inside that square root sign. Okay, that's why you want to be careful. Okay, so let's try number 3 again. Okay, two more to go. Are you working on number 3? Keep working, guys. Where are you? Are you guys done? Do you want to indicate by raising your hand, thumbs up, yes, if you're done? Almost done. Keeps yawning today. Sorry, guys. So again, A, B, C are just the numbers, no X's included. A is 4, B is positive 3, and C is negative 2. Okay, so X equals opposite of B, so negative 3 plus minus. Now this time B is positive, so I'm just going to do 3 squared minus 4AC over 2 times 4. Okay? And 3 squared is 9. And again, I'm going to just keep stressing this. You want to treat this as negative 4. Okay, negative 4 times 4 times negative 2. That's what you want to do. You want to do negative 4 times 4 times negative 2. Okay, and so what do you get? Well, negative times negative, that's going to be positive. So you end up with a positive. 16 times 2 is, what is it? 32? Positive 32. You get that? Over 8. So your answer is negative 3 plus minus square root of 41 over 8. And the other answer is negative 3 minus 41. Okay, so let's find out the decimal values. Negative 3 plus square root of 41. And then I push enter first and then divide by 8. So what did you guys get? Do you guys want to? Did you get 0.4? Okay, I'm gonna just round off to the second decimal place. So 425 or 43. And then negative 3 minus square root of 41 divided by 8. Negative 1.18175. Who's got this correct? Thumbs up, thumbs down. How did you guys do? Almost. If you did not quite get it, will you take a look at it, what I just did? Where was the mistake though? Were you able to get 41 inside of a square root? If you've got that, that's great. Okay, that's the 80% of the battle there. If you didn't get 41, what did you do wrong? If you don't identify your mistake, you're going to do the same thing over and over, and that's really frustrating, isn't it? Right? And you will hate it. But again, you need to identify where you went off and learn from it, and it will get better. Okay. Let's try the last one. Okay. You know, we're done almost, guys. Thought we were able to finish it early, but actually took a little longer. So let's identify A, B, and C. A is 1. B is negative 16. And then C is 4, positive 4. So first, let's plug in. Again, do you guys have the quadratic formula visible? So this is quadratic formula. Okay. So let's apply that. First entry is opposite of a B. Okay, negative means opposite sign of B. So it's going to be positive 16. Do you have that? Plus minus square root B squared. So you gotta wanna put parentheses, B negative 16 squared. Please put parentheses around negative 16. Otherwise, you will not get the right answer, because calculator, if you do not put parentheses negative 16 squared, if you don't have the parentheses, calculator will just give you negative value. It should be positive answer, isn't it? Because negative 16 times negative 16 is positive number. So you have to put bracket around it. Otherwise, calculator will give you negative value, which is a wrong answer. Minus 4AC over 2 times 1. Are you talking about this 16 right here, Justin? Yeah, so the formula calls for negative B, right? So basically what you're going to do is negative of B, but B is negative 16, isn't it? Okay. So negative of negative 16, and that means it's positive 16. Yeah. You okay with that? What's 16 squared? It's 256. So it's positive 256. And then minus 4 times 1 times 4 is minus 16. And then over 2. So it's square root of 240 over 2. Did you get 240? Basically, again, majority of the work is inside the square root sign. Were you able to get 240? So now let's do 16 plus square root of 240. And then push enter first, and then divide by 2. So the 1 x-intercept is 15.75. The other one is 16 minus square root of 240. Enter. Divide by 2. 0.25. So this is the x-intercept, and then y-intercept is 4. Okay, so this is the, again, okay, scale of 1 to 5. Where are you? Are you getting this? Yeah, I've got it. Okay, very good. How about the rest of you? Anybody not feeling good about this yet still? Okay. Uh, please consider of getting a good calculator, like a scientific calculator, where you can enter parentheses and, I mean, you can still use the cell phone, but cell phone, it's really difficult. Hey, this is my cell phone. Where is my calculator? But when you have this, it's really, yeah. When you put parentheses, it doesn't really indicate parentheses, does it? And then when you want to do the square, it just kind of complicates. It's very difficult to use calculator on cell phone when you're doing complicated procedures, operations. And so but when you have the calculator like this, if I do parentheses negative 16, you see that? I can just type in parentheses negative 16 and then square, right? And there is no way that you're going to make a mistake, okay? And so it's really good to have that, okay? So please ask your parents to get one, something like this. It's about 10, 12 bucks. So I would recommend to you to get that. Please take a picture of your work and make sure that you turn in before you do something else, okay? Otherwise, you guys have a great weekend, okay? And then I will see you guys on Tuesday, okay? Monday is going to be parent-teachers conferences, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend. Yes, this is 2.3. Yes, Diana. All right. Take care, guys. Unless you have any questions, I'm going to shut it down.